Howdy, howdy. Hobby Dave, this is Nathan. This probably looks familiar to you. The magnetic shoe and everything, the dust boot and everything, exactly what you're running, and of course, the little flaggy thing there, or the actual hose interrupter. This is a Bauer router. It's a Makita clone. I think it's got about the same dimensions as the Makita. I've not done them side by side, but I know that everything here mounts in specifically correctly. I printed off the exact same dust collection and ran into massive binding issues between the router and the Z-blocks. So you notice here, I'm not actually running their Z's whatsoever because it was binding up with the router. And it was actually binding up with a couple different places. What I ended up doing was going back to the normal Z blocks here, or Z bearing blocks here, and then I actually made a couple different types of kind of prototypes to get this pushed out, and it didn't fix the problem, and it turned out that no matter what I did, the issue was actually right up here. So now I'm running, I believe, the blocks that I downloaded for the print on the bottom side, and they stay out of the way. And then again, the original Z blocks up here, and then I cut this down because there's no point in having it because I'm not actually guiding up there anymore. And there's really no point in having 2 points of contact. It's just a dust shoe. So it's not really anything that's going to be reinforcing. But so there is a really good chance that your problem is between the router and these upper things. If you pull the tool off, the actual blocks off, I mean, it's going to be a pain in the butt to do it, to be able to run it up and down. But if you pull just the tool out, there's a good chance you'll be able to run it and not get the binding. Because if I remember correctly, it was binding up on just the overhangs on the upper part of the tool. And of course, the tool's got to be in the exact right angle in order to move past anyway. Otherwise, you still bind up on the corners. So I would try pulling this out and then run it up and down, see if you're getting any of the binding sounds. And that's really what it sounds like, is your stepper is trying to turn and it's just not being able to move. It's bound up solid. Doing it by hand, it may be shifting enough, going slow enough that you may be getting through there, but doing it at the more rapid rate, you may be having issues. Your other problem then, again, loosen up the screw a little bit here that holds your block in place, or the brass nut in place, and see if it's binding up the wrong way. But there's a really good chance that if you go to the same setup I'm doing, it'll fix your problem. It did for me. So there you go.